All right, welcome back, everyone. Apologies for our technical difficulties earlier. We apologize that you could not hear what we had, but we are good now. Give me a big thumbs up if you're in the Zoom and you can hear me loud and clear. All right, there we go. If you are joining us live with any of our platforms, feel free to come on over here, hang out with us in Zoom. We would love to see your beautiful faces. So all you got to do is click the link. We're going to make sure that that is dropped in the comments if you are watching on YouTube Live, if you are watching on LinkedIn Live, and of course, Facebook Live. We would love to see you over here. So welcome back, or welcome if you did not get to join us earlier today. This is Not Your Dad's Corporate Ladder, and we are doing a bonus session tonight, and we're going to do the same bonus sessions for you for each day of the workshop. So we're going to do another one tomorrow night and Thursday night for you as well. You can absolutely click and get the replays. We'll make sure those are emailed out to you. And then, of course, for our normal session, each day from 12:30 to 2:30. So each day you have 12:30 to 2:30 Eastern, and then joining us for a bonus session from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern as well. And then, of course, for joining the workshop, you are getting a free coaching call, a free strategy call with a member of my team. We are going to go ahead and drop that link into the chat again. So Valerie will let you work your magic. Go ahead and put that in there. That way, everybody that is tuning in gets the opportunity to have that one-to-one time to make sure you can set 2023 on fire. So earlier today, what we talked about was we started down this road of our POWHER formula for success, and that is commanding our power, demanding our power, and landing our power. And we first focused on the commanded portion, and that is mindset. And so we really dug down and tried to really see, hey, as women, why are we doing all of these things that society says that we should do? Why are we trying to transform ourselves instead of letting that true, authentic self shine? And we discovered this morning that this is actually why we are struggling so much when it comes to all of the how-to in this world. So, how to absolutely manage your time, how to set and hold boundaries. Ladies, we know how to fucking do this. We've been doing it over and over and over. With the challenge that we have when it comes to saying, absolutely not, I am not going to climb that traditional patriarchal corporate ladder. I'm going to do it on my own terms, is us. We are getting in our own way. So we had a really amazing session this morning. Go back and watch that replay. I can't wait for you to see that. And we gave you a fun homework assignment to simply just start inventorying all of the things in life, all of the decisions that you make in any given day, and then analyzing each of those decisions and saying, wait a minute, did society tell me I should make this decision? Or am I doing this because that is what my intuition and gut tells me? So I wanted to give you a practical way on this very special bonus session on how you can actually see how this is going to play out. And this is a version of my keynote speech, How to Negotiate Like a White Dude. So I want to tell you a little bit about how this was born, and then we're going to go straight into all three pieces of this formula when it comes specifically to negotiation. And then tomorrow, you're going to learn more about the demanded on all things POWHER and so on and so forth. Sound like a plan? Give me a big thumbs up if you're following. Wonderful. All right, everyone. So what we are going to be looking at today is, like I said, how to negotiate like a white dude. And the reason that I say like a white dude, before everyone gets so offended and all of these things, it's because if you haven't checked the stats lately, white men in this country make a hell of a lot more money than any other group there is. And that is not saying they're all malicious. That's not saying that that is in any way, shape, or form. It is what it is. So that's why I say this. So I want to tell you a little bit about my money story and how I came across this, and a little bit on the stats. And then, of course, how you too, after this session, can absolutely negotiate like a white dude. So I remember very early in my career that I was offered my first ever six-figure position. And for those of you that don't know me or you're new to me, the way I grew up, extremely blue collar, I never even thought six figures was ever going to be an option for me, let alone in my 20s. So I remember actually sitting there in front of the hiring manager. This was long before COVID. You were actually still doing interviews in person. They were extending offers in person. So there was no poker face. They could see all of the body language. And I remember those words coming out of his mouth. And I immediately, I promise you, I didn't even let him finish his sentence. And I said, yes, 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 yes. Can I start tomorrow? I was just so grateful that I had been offered this position. I was on top of the world. I told everybody I knew, and I was just so damn proud of myself. So a couple months in, because those of you that joined us this morning or you've been around us before, you know that the 16 years that I spent in corporate, I did that in people management and HR. So I got to see a lot of stuff that not everyone else got to see, specifically compensation. So whenever I went in and I started digging through everything, I stumbled across what my predecessor, the white dude that had my position before me, I got to see his entire comp package. And guess what I discovered? I left a hell of a lot of money on the table, just like so many of us do as women. And so I'd love for you to drop in the chat. Go ahead and drop in what percentage you think I left on the table. If you're joining us across the other platforms, go ahead and put in the comments, what percentage do you think I left on that table by just being so grateful that I had been offered a job, that this had been happened to me? So I'll keep those coming. 40%, another 40%. I'm seeing a few across the other channels. 60. Oh my gosh. Don't that takes my breath away just a little bit. Oh my gosh, 100. What in the world? So I'm here to tell you, in base salary alone, I left 26% on the table. 26. This is base salary alone. This is not short-term incentive. This is not long-term incentive. This is not a sign-on package. This is not severance, which all of you should be negotiating at the job offer process, not after the job, not after when you're being severed out. All of these things, just 26% alone. So you can imagine going into work with any type of motivation. Let's just say I didn't have it. I sat in it and I got mad at the world. I said, what the hell? That's just not fair. That is not fair. How dare they do something like that? And I got really, really angry and I blamed them. And then I started to think about something. So for any of you out there that, I don't know, own a home, I want you to put in the chat or in the comment, how much below market value did you pay for your home? And you can do this in percentage. Or if you bought a car before COVID, I know cars are crazy then, before all of this, how much of a steal did you get when you negotiated for that car, right? I want you to put that in there. 28%. Somebody just put, a lot of folks. Absolutely. What else? How much less did you pay for your house than it's worth today? If I went to Zillow today and I looked at the estimate of your home, how much less did you actually pay for that home? I guarantee you this is double percentage. What are those comments coming through? Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. So all these things, guys, we are absolutely conditioned that when you're buying a home, of course you negotiate. You hire experts that actually know how to negotiate. They're called real estate agents. These are the people that you enlist to help you get the best deal possible. And as you should, you are a consumer that doesn't want to pay sticker price for a product. I'm going to say that again. You are a consumer that doesn't want to pay sticker price for a product. And we glorify that. We brag about it. Guess how much I got my house for? Guess how much I got this car for? And we have the same mentality until it comes to what we're paid. Until it comes to, I don't know, what actually allows us to buy that house, like the main source of income, what goes into the bank account so you can pay for all these things that you negotiate. So that day when I left 26% on the table, guess what that hiring manager did? He allowed a consumer to pay sticker price for a product. There is no denying it. We can have all the personal feelings that we want. We can say, oh, it's because you're a woman. We can say it's all because you are young. They thought they can get you cheap. Who the hell cares, right? I don't know about you, but if I see in my house next door that I've been eyeballing that, the couple all of a sudden is going through a divorce and I can get it cheap, I'm going to pick it up cheap because I am a consumer, right? And I'm taking advantage of that situation. It is the exact same concept. So we have to wrap our minds around this whole idea that these organizations don't owe you a damn thing other than to pay you. That's it. And as horribly cold as that sounds, the more you wrap your mind around that, the more that you understand that this is simply a business, the more power that you're going to have. So I want to show you why this is something that most of us have never thought about before. And I want to show you, and other than my own story at very poorly negotiating that one time, I didn't negotiate at all, right? When I realized that, I swore I would never leave another penny on the table. So throughout my years, in corporate, can you tell it's been a long day? I'm hanging in there with you guys. I want to give you all I can. But throughout those years, I myself and my team extended roughly 3,500 job offers throughout the 16 years. I didn't keep a tally, but when I go back through, that's about what we did. I'm going to be really gracious today, and I'm going to say that 30% of those job offers were to women. I'm going to say 70% were to men, 30% were to women, just to be fair. So if 30% of 3,500 women were extended job offers that myself extended to women or my team extended to women, how many of those women do you think countered any job offer that we made? Go ahead and throw that in the chat or put that in the comments if you're joining us live. How many women actually did it? I got a 10%, I got a 5%. Yeah, I got all live. I got 20%. We got 30%. We got 0%. I'll help you out there. Ladies, it was 9 women. 9. Single digits. No matter what industry I was in, no matter what level that this woman was coming in at, 9 women. This is 0.8% of women even asked, is there more? So that led me to believe, wait a second, there's something going on because, I said earlier, 30% of those offers were to women. Guess how, and 70% were to men. Guess how many men countered? Guess how many men? Put that in the chat, put it in the comments if you're watching us live. Percentage-wise, how many men countered job offers? You're not going to like what I'm getting ready to say. So it's 7 o'clock here on the East Coast. If you don't already have a drink right now, it's the time that I would go get one, take a deep breath, exhale, no matter what level of the organization, 100%. Of those offers, I have never in my life had a man not counter a job offer. Not once. No matter if it's entry level, all the way up to board, executive vice presidents, CEOs. It is estimated, ladies, that by not countering every job offer and every promotion throughout our careers, we are leaving cumulatively, each of us individually, $2 million on the table. $2 million. I don't know about you, but if I had an extra $2 million hit my bank account tomorrow, I know some really fun stuff I'm going to do with it, right? So if this is something that I swear to God, maybe they're pulling these little boys aside on the playground and teaching them how to negotiate. Who the hell knows? But something's different, right? And so when I started to digging into this, I really started talking to all of these women. I started looking at the decisions that I made. And there was one thing that it all had in common. And this is where I want us to show you how to command your power, demand your power, and land your power. The first thing is I want you to say out loud. I know that you're on mute, but I want you to say out loud, I love money. Say it with me. I love money. Show me the money, like Jerry Maguire, right? So many of us don't want to say it. It sounds icky. When we think about loving money or being money hungry, all we see are these assholes that bankrupted us right back in 08. Or all we see are these people driving around in these sports cars and literally taking tax cuts from people that need them and stuffing those into their pockets. And that is what society has conditioned you to think. In general, regardless of gender, that is men and women, but there's something else different there too. As women, we are taught all along that we should just be grateful. We should just accept what's given. You know, Brendy, 40, 50 years ago, women couldn't even work. Now you want more money? Yeah, I do. I want a lot more. And it seems so silly, but if you see just those stats alone, and then when you look up the stats, we are still making 83 cents on the man's dollar. And I promise you it's because you're not asking for it. I've been on both sides of this table for almost 2 decades. You are just not asking. So earlier in the morning session, I gave everyone an exercise to start commanding their power to help something in a different way. I want to give you the same exercise, but I want to give you a live example of what I mean. So to truly know your worth, to know in your heart that you have every right to counter, you have to make sure that you're rewiring that brain, those 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of society saying, don't ask for more money. It's bad that you love money. Women aren't even good with money. We don't need to give them any more of it. Because that gets said to us a lot in a lot of subliminal ways. You have to first understand why you are worth every single penny that the market says your job's worth. And guess what? Add another 30% on top of that. That's how much money you're leaving on the table. And so for you to start having that confidence of commanding your power, I want all of you to take out a sticky note. If you're watching this on replay, pause it now, get your pen and paper, and I want you to write out why you're better at your job than anybody else. And unlike earlier, right now, I'm going to give you an example. So what if I told you that, you know, I'm better at my job than anybody else? I'm a better executive coach and consultant because, you know, I don't know. I spent a lot of time in corporate. I know how, you know, to help women build really cool careers. So, you know, I think I'm pretty good at it. How many of you right now are ready to send over your credit card information so you can give me 5 figures to invest in my coaching program today? What? Damn it, Valerie, I knew we weren't going to get a return on this launch. What the heck? Of course you're not, right? Because what the heck did I just say, right? And that's when all of these women that go through our programs, and why I use this exercise as much as I do, is I want you to write it out and I want you to believe it. I want you to say it with so much conviction that it feels yucky. So I'm going to give you an example of how I can do just that, okay? And then you're going to take it and you're going to listen to this again on the replays whenever you click that link. And it's going to get emailed to you later tonight. The replay that was emailed to you earlier today, it's going to be right in there for you. And I want you to say it like I'm getting ready to. You know what? I am a better executive coach and consultant than anyone else I know because I'm not out here selling some shit that I watched on a webinar or read in a book. I spent 16 years throwing every single dart to know what will, more importantly, what will not work. And I was able to land in a global 500 organization in my early 30s. Today, I spend every single day teaching women how they can build careers that bring them joy, meaning, and a hell of a lot more money than they ever thought possible. Can you get there without any of our coaching programs? Of course you can. You're a competent, badass woman. But how much money you want to leave on the table trying to figure it out? Do you see what I'm saying right there? It's the exact same thing. It's all those things that you just didn't want to say it out loud. And let alone write it, let alone what you're going to do next is once you write it out and it sounds just as arrogant and cocky as I did, you're going to put that Post-it note, that baby right up on your bathroom mirror. And every single morning when you're getting ready for work, you're going to say it. And you're going to say it every single day until you believe it. Because I promise you, everybody around you sees it. Because you are your own worst enemy. I did an Instagram live earlier today where I talked about 3 strategies on how you can stop talking shit to yourself. This is exactly what I mean. You're like, yeah, but I kind of, fucked up that project. Oh, I messed up that deadline. Oh, I got fired. Guess who else got fired in her lifetime? Oprah Winfrey. Do you think she gives a shit that she got fired today? How'd you like to be the dude that actually fired her today? I wouldn't want to be that guy. So you must first command your power, because this is what all of these men, they instinctually knew they had to counter. They may have not even knew why, right? They didn't have the knee-jerk reaction of, I'm just going to accept what's given, like we did. They didn't have that, no matter what age they were in life. So step 1 of any transformation is commanding our power. The second thing that I want you to do is demand your power. And this is where everybody wants to go. Everybody that comes over to power, they're always asking me, well, Brittany, how much should I ask for? What percentage should I ask for? What do the numbers look like? And I can give you those numbers all day long. This is something that is part of our programs. This is something we do. We can literally go into software that we pay for that is market reported data on compensation. And it's real data. It's not the shit that is on salary.com or Indeed, where it's employee reported data. That is inaccurate. You will never get anywhere using that. And we can actually see, regardless of gender, which is most of the time, ladies, if you're figuring out what people make, it's because you're talking to other women that you work with that, guess what? Only 9 of them actually negotiated. So that's not the ones you need to be talking to or finding out what they make. And we can go in and we can tell you exactly what you need to ask for. But when you go in there, your voice shakes, you're not confident. It doesn't matter what the market says. It only matters what they're going to offer. Okay. So command our power and then demand it. So when it comes to the numbers, there are 3 different ways that are really easy that you can find out today, even if you're not in transition, or let's say you're interviewing all over the place. You are trying to find out, well, what kind of money should I ask for, right? There's a lot of ambiguity in this, and this is what's making it scary. But we have committed, no matter what, we're going to counter for the rest of our lives, no matter what it is, counter our retirement somehow, no matter what it is, we will do it. Then you can find out what you're worth today, 3 different ways. The very first way is, even if you're at a job that you absolutely love, I'm talking about Sunday night, you're working for somebody else and you just can't wait to go to sleep because tomorrow's Monday morning, you're going to still be shopping every single day. You're still going to be talking to recruiters. You're still going to be seeing what's on the job market, because guess what? You could go in tomorrow and there's a layoff. If you are not shopping every single day, you are taking the entire sum of your bank account and you're walking into the casino and you're putting it all on black. Every bit of it. That's how much you are gambling by staying at a job, even if you truly love it, if you're not shopping. Because what shopping's going to do is, 1, you're constantly going to be talking to recruiters, and you are going to be hearing what the jobs are offering. So even if you love what you do, you're still hearing it. Another beautiful part about the shopping is it's forcing you to do that exercise I just told you about, of saying why you're so good at your job. You get to talk to that about with some random recruiter, and you don't even care if you get the job or not. What better playground to practice your sales pitch in? So that's the first step. You're going to hear it. This is your longest way to figure out your dollars. The second way, which is a little bit quicker, is you need to be working with a headhunter. This whole concept behind post the application and pray, it is gone. You will not find the job. And lady, you deserve the job. At this point in our careers, you don't need another job. If you need another job, go bartend, go sell pictures of your feet on OnlyFans. You do whatever you need to do to pay the bills. No judgment on our end. But what you need to do is work with a headhunter. And this headhunter is people that all they do for a living is extend job offers. And guess what? They get paid commission off of what they can actually get you. They're just like real estate agents. I know, I trained them for many years. I taught them how to do this throughout my 16 years. So you need to do that because it's in their best interest to get you the highest dollar possible. That is your second quickest way. Your quickest way to find that whenever you're in corporate, whenever you're transitioning, if you've been laid off, whatever it is you're going through, is you pay a firm for the market pricing. So many people don't even understand that this is an option. We legitimately do this with all of our clients and PalHer. So if Valerie is interviewing for, a chief marketing officer job at a Fortune 500 that has X dollars in revenue, she's going to have 10 direct reports, all of this data. I can literally plug all of this in. And it will return this beautiful PDF for Valerie that I'll sit down and talk with her. And it will tell me where she should ask for in the market. And that is at the 25th percentile, the 50th percentile, and the 75th percentile. So that is a lot of jargon, a lot of comp stuff thrown at you. But basically at the 25th percentile, that means everybody else that's a CMO in organizations like this, 75% of them make more than the 25th. So that's the low end. The 50th is right down the middle of the road. And the 75th is on the middle or the right. Excuse me. Now I'm not even speaking clearly. It is above the 50th. It's at the 75th. You still got 25% of people that make more. You always go in and ask for the 75th percentile at minimum. Never one dime less. Ever, ever, ever. But you have to know your numbers. You would never go buy a home without knowing your numbers. You would never go buy a car without knowing your numbers. So why the hell do you think that you can land a job and absolutely negotiate like a white dude without an expert helping you and without the numbers? I think we talked about this earlier. I think we talked about earlier about how some crazy expectations that we have on ourselves as women. Of course you wouldn't know this. Guess why I left some money on the table way back then? I didn't know. I didn't know that was even an option. What else was I supposed to think? On top of societal conditioning, I had no clue. So that is what you're doing on how you negotiate like a white dude when it comes to demanding your power when you're a woman in corporate. Let's say you're a woman that runs your own business. You do the exact same concept. The only difference is you call all of your competitors or you talk to them on social and you discover what the market range is for the services that you offer. And then you price those services at the 75th percentile and you do not accept one dime less. Not one dime less. Not you get this month free, not, if you join today, then I'll give you $500 off. Absolutely not. As a CEO, as a woman running her own business, the gender pay gap that I said earlier on the 83 cents to the man's dollar, ladies, that is astronomically so much worse when it comes to female entrepreneurs and female CEOs that own their own companies. Always price your services at the 75th percentile of the market. So you have the confidence, you're the badass woman you are because every day you're talking to that sticky note in the mirror, right? This is why I'm worth every fucking penny there is. Here's how I can get the numbers in 3 different ways. 2 of those ways are absolutely free. The third way is around $500 to price out one job and to actually have somebody give you what the pricing is. It's $500. Seems like a pretty easy ROI for me if I can spend $500, figure it out, and ask for $50,000 more in base salary alone. All right. The last thing that is landing our power. And what that means is commanding the mindset, command it, demanding it, the how to with the numbers. Now, here's how you fucking own it. And this one is where it feels amazing. And this is when, you know what, when you go in there and they don't give you the 75th percentile of the market, guess what you do? You say, toodaloo, motherfucker, I'm out. That's exactly what you say, because you're not going to accept one dime less. The money is the easy part. We are women. We have lived through so much shit. You will make money. I know, I hear you out there saying, Brittany, I got small kids to feed. I'm not, I'm going to lose my house, all these things. And I'm not saying these things aren't real. But what I'm telling you is you will make money no matter what it is. Do you want to go do it for somebody that doesn't believe in your value? I sure as heck don't, because I did. And it's a miserable way to live. So you are being prepared to walk because you are absolutely unapologetic as fuck about what you bring to the table, of what kind of ROI that you are bringing to this organization. If they are nickeling, diming you over not paying you the 75th percentile of the market, can you imagine what kind of budget you're going to have to hire in, I don't know, competent team members? Zero. Do you know what that means? Welcome back to 80-hour work weeks, because you can't delegate anything because you don't have a team to delegate it to. Or if you do have a team you can delegate to, they're not the caliber you need. That's exactly what's going to happen whenever they start doing that to you. The second thing that's going to happen is your department is going to get as little funding as possible. So you're not going to be able to do passion projects. You're not going to be able to do the things that you actually care about. You're not going to be able to take, a chunk of the business, invest it into something that could absolutely catapult the business. They're not going to let you use money to make money. Do you see what I'm saying? This is, you think that you're walking away. You're thinking that you're saying, oh, I can't believe I walked away from that job. You just saved yourself another 12 to 18 months of burnout. You just saved yourself from going back down an imposter syndrome rabbit hole and maybe not coming out of it. Because that's very, very real. This is when we land our power, because we know that, again, we don't want a job. We want the job. And this is why so many of us always end up in these spaces where we are absolutely burnt out and we hate what we do. We absolutely hate it. Sunday night comes around and you cannot grab for the vodka or the scotch or the wine or whatever it is you do quick enough, because all you're thinking of is, I can't believe I have to go in there all week. I don't know how I'm going to pull myself together and walk in there or walk in, virtually on here and do it. And it's because you ignored the red flags along the way, just like we do in our dating world. We've all been there, right? Big red flag. This dude's walking around, or this woman, and they literally have red flags painted on our faces. And like, oh yeah, let's go out on a second date. You did the same thing whenever you're choosing your role, right? Because there is this fear factor there. There's all of these things that are telling you over and over and over. So you got to command your power, know that you're worth every penny, do your homework, know your numbers, and then you stand and hold your ground. Because what you get out of this, you actually do get a career that brings you joy. Because negotiating isn't just about the dollars. It's negotiating, no, I want to be in this industry, making this kind of impact on the world. I want to be hiring in this kind of team. I want to hire in a team that doesn't look like me, act like me, think like me, have the same values that I do, so I can truly create a workplace that's inclusive. Because here's something else nobody else wants to tell you. The reason all the DEIB doesn't work, it costs money. It costs money to do that. It was much easier when you have a whole team that looks like you, acts like you, talks like you. You all just get all kinds of stuff done. And it's not because you're smarter. It's because nobody is actually countering your ideas. So you think that you're more productive, and you kind of are for a while, until you have no innovation coming out of that team because there's no diversity of thought, right? That's why DEIB is not catching on. It's all about the dollars. So this is why I want more dollars in the pockets of every single woman on this planet. This is why we show up every 6 to 8 weeks. We are doing these types of workshops for free. When you first signed up, you got a mini e-training and a workbook for free. We're putting out information on a podcast every week for free. We put out content daily across every social media platform for free. You're hanging out with us again right now for free. You get a coaching call with us for free, because until we get enough women that can command their power like this, they can absolutely dominate. We will never have workplaces that are inclusive. It's never going to happen. Government's not going to do it for you, ever. If anything, it almost makes it worse. It takes us actually taking action. That's why we want to show up every single day and give you and pour into our entire community. And as women, we owe it to each other to make this happen. Because if you have a daughter, if you have a granddaughter, if you have a niece, do you really want her to grow up dealing with the same shit we have? Right? And you're just like, oh, I'm no one, I can't make a difference. Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. I own my own business today. I spent 16 years doing that. Guess who I hire in my business? Women. Guess what vendors I use in my business? Who money I give to them to perform services for me? Women. Right? This is how I am building my own fucking table that's extremely inclusive, and how I'm showing all other women how they can use the capital that huge corporations have, right? And build a better table. All right. And it starts with money, money, money. And no one of us want to say it out loud. So this is how you can too negotiate like a white dude, put more of those dollars in your pockets and actually have everything you want. And damn it, you get to help other women do the same. Sounds like a win-win-win to me, right? 3 simple strategies that you can take right away today to start getting an ROI on all of this. So with that being said, each night, like I said, we're going to be doing these bonus sessions for you. Tonight, of course, was how to negotiate like a white dude. What I'd like for you to do is definitely go ahead and book your call with our team if you haven't already. Valerie's going to go ahead and throw the link back into the chat for us. That's way it's nice and handy for you right there. You definitely want to take advantage of this 30 minutes one-to-one time on how we can help you absolutely dominate whatever it is you want to work on. 100% free coaching call for you. We're also going to be right back here, 12:30 Eastern to 2:30 Eastern tomorrow. Tomorrow, what we're going to be digging into is how you start demanding your power, not just within the realm of negotiation, but all kinds of things. You're going to walk away with so much gold tomorrow that you can take and get an ROI on immediately. This is not something that you just have to wait for. You can put everything that we taught you today, everything from this morning and even this session, you can literally jump off the Zoom and do it. If you don't believe me, any of us that are in heterosexual relationships with men, go try to negotiate using this exact formula today. It'll work. I do it all the time. You can absolutely do it. It's the exact same concept. And then you start implementing that as always in our personal lives, and you start implementing it professionally. Okay. Tomorrow night, we're going to have another bonus session from 7 to 8. We'd love to see you out where we're going to dive even further into that. And we are also going to do a bonus session on how to transition like a badass. So anybody that is looking for a new job, anybody that's been laid off, anybody that's been fired, I've been in all 3 of those buckets. I want you to know I hear you, I see you, and we're going to give you even more strategies where you can absolutely dominate. So number 1, book your one-to-one call. Number 2, come hang out with me again tomorrow. I'm really starting to like you guys. I want to see you again. So come back 12:30 to 2:30, and I will see you tomorrow morning. So please have a beautiful night, and I'll see you again soon.